Hi everybody, Levi Clay here, and I'm back again to do another list. This time I'm going to list off 6 country albums that feature great guitar playing and might potentially get you a little bit more into country music. Those of you familiar with me will know that I'm kind of really into country music, like lots of styles of music, but I've written several books on country guitar, all available on Amazon, and they're of course worth checking out. I know that country music is a bit of a meme in 2018. It's cool to not like country music, but there's actually, the genre of country music is a wide stretching genre in the same way that rock or metal is very wide stretching. I'm sure there's plenty of rock music that you like and other rock music that you don't. So it's wise to maybe suggest there's probably some country music out there that you might enjoy. So here's a list of some country guitar albums that are worth checking out. So let's jump in with probably the most rock entry on this list, and that's Johnny Hyland's self-titled album, his first album. And when I say rock, this really is of that rock sound. Billy Sheehan plays bass on this album. I believe it's on Favoured Nations as well, which is Vi's label. So, this has some mass appeal to you rock guys out there. It's a great album. This really kind of helped push me in the direction of country guitar and take it a little bit more seriously. When I was younger, I had obviously listened to guys like Albert Lee, and heard country influences on guys like John Five's albums. Big John Five fan. But it was listening to Johnny Hyland that made me go, okay, you can play country music and be super fucking cool, because Johnny Hyland is super cool. So I highly recommend checking out that album. There are some blistering licks on that you will just hear and go, man, I wish I could play that, and man, I've got no hope of being able to play that. He really is pristine. So check that out. It's also reasonably well known that I'm a big Brad Paisley fan. So the next artist is going to be Brad Paisley. And my first Brad Paisley album that I got was Fifth Gear. Love that record, and I'd probably suggest that. But the thing with Brad is where he began his career versus where his career is now, there's been a lot of change in his sound. When he first began, he was not super traditional country, but very old school country influenced. Whereas now it's a lot more pop and rock influenced. And I like both kind of areas of his career. And ultimately everything in between kind of shifts. So I wanted to pick an album that still had a lot of country influence on it, but that wasn't full on pop. I think albums like Fifth Gear, amazing, still absolutely love that record. But maybe not as country as Time Well Wasted, which is the album I'm going to pick and suggest that you check out. So this is very song based. There's some great songs on this album that showcase Brad's kind of tongue-in-cheek comedy approach to writing, lyrics that make you smile, but also some great guitar playing. It's got songs like The World, Waiting on a Woman. I think the Cigar song is on that record as well. Really, I'd love to make a best of Brad Paisley album with my favourite songs, but it would probably be like 5 discs. So yeah, Time Well Wasted, well worth checking out. And if you do listen to that and you find the sound and the tone acceptable, then maybe jump back to Part 2, which is another huge favourite of mine, Brad Paisley's albums. That's a little bit more country in sound. So next up, let's go more traditional country. And this is kind of, almost as traditional as we'll go on this. So this is Alan Jackson's Who I Am. Now, I love Alan Jackson. Alan Jackson is probably, he's kind of my go-to country sound. When I'm driving, I want some truck driving country on. Not that I drive a truck, but I'm likely to throw some Alan Jackson on because I love his voice, I love his writing, and I love the guitar playing on his albums. So this is what it really comes down to. Brent Mason is the driving force in my love of country music. Brent Mason's my driving force in my love of just music in general. He's a huge influence on me. And I was going to suggest either of Brent Mason's solo records, Hot Wired or Smoking Section, but I wanted something that was actual country. And those albums, Smoking Section is kind of Western swing, and Hot Wired has lots of influences on it. Who I Am by Alan Jackson. Brent Mason plays, I believe, all of the guitar on the albums. It's certainly all of the lead guitar on the album. So that's really worth checking out because Brent is fantastic, and here you get to see how he is used when playing on great songs. And this album has great songs on it. Gone Country is on there. I Don't Even Know Your Name is on there. Summertime Blues is on there. There's a lot of great stuff on this album. All American Country Boy. So Alan Jackson's Who I Am, killer record and well worth checking out, and maybe that'll get you more into Alan Jackson. to be fair, a good best of will also get you close. Next up, let's go a little bit off the beaten track, and I'm going to go for Danny Gatton's Redneck Jazz. Now, I've picked this because, I mean, it's not really country, it's jazz played by people that are influenced by country music. Danny was never really a country guitar player. He never played on any albums that you'd listen to and go, that's country. But this album very much has that hillbilly influence in there. And it's cool to me. I absolutely love it. The thing that I like the most about this particular record is the Redneck Jazz Band had Buddy Emmons in the band playing pedal steel. And really, if I could go back and change my instrument, I would play pedal steel. I think the pedal steel guitar is the most beautiful and expressive instrument out there. So yeah, to be able to hear Danny play with a great pedal steel player, like a world-changing pedal steel player like Buddy Emmons, is a real treat. A little bit of a harder album to track down, but I'm sure in 2018 with the internet, I'm sure you can probably dig this one out. Might not be to everyone's taste, but there's some great, ear-twisting, ferocious licks on this album. So that one's worth a look. Next up, I'm going to go with the Hot Club of Cowtown and their album What Makes Bob Holler. So the Hot Club of Cowtown, great little trio, Western swing trio. You've got Whit Smith on guitar, and Whit is a fabulous guitar player, influenced by old jazz. I'm talking pre-electricity jazz. The group, as I say, a trio, so you've got guitar, violin and bass, and they all kind of pitch in on vocals, and wonderful band. And I picked this particular album, the What Makes Bob Holler album, because it's a throwback to Bob Wills and the Western swing that he was kind of the one of the fathers of. Love the Western swing sound and the influence that had on country music. So to hear kind of old school sounds, but done by a modern band in a more of a modern recording setting, is always a treat. And Whit is a big influence on me, both in his lead style and his chord playing. And there's some lovely violin playing, fiddle playing on that album. Songs like Oklahoma Hills, well worth checking out. I really do like that band, so I hope they continue to do as well as they have been doing. Right now, my number one, who is this going to go to? No surprise, one of my favourite guitar players, Jerry Reed. His debut album, The Unbelievable Guitar and Voice. I could just stop there. This is a phenomenal album. It's full of great songs. And that's what I'm all about. And when you check out like a Jerry Reed best of, they often have some of the songs from this album, but they miss out on the best ones, in my opinion. You've got songs like Take a Walk and Long Gone. Jerry Reed's song Long Gone is like one of my favourites. I absolutely love that song. And this is well worth checking out, even just for the song Woman Shy. Woman Shy won't appear on any best of, but that is an absolute belter of a tune with great lyric, a kind of tongue-in-cheek approach to said lyric, and some ferocious guitar playing. So yeah, Jerry Reed's The Unbelievable Guitar and Voice. Now, as I say, Jerry, one of my all-time favourite players. A lot of guys message me and say, Jerry Reed instrumentals, which ones do I check out? That wasn't really what Jerry did. He has, over his entire career, about enough instrumentals to fill one CD. He wasn't about that. It was about his charisma, his personality, and his songwriting. So yeah, as his career went on, he kind of plays guitar a lot less. So his earlier albums are the ones that really do it for me. You listen to a song like Alabama Wild Man, which isn't on this album, that's on Alabama Wild Man. You hear something really cool. As things go on and you do, She Got the Gold Mine, where he's playing less and singing and being a personality, that's less to my taste. But that doesn't change the fact that Jerry was a game changer for me, and hopefully he will be a game changer for you. So there you go. There is my list. There are 6 country-ish albums that you should check out, and hopefully they will influence you in the same way they influence me. Lastly, I just want to extend a huge debt of gratitude to these guys over here. These are my Patreon supporters. They support me over on patreon.com, and they help to keep this channel going and for me to keep making cool videos like this. So huge thank you to you guys. If you would like to check us out on Patreon, there's a link below, or you could click this button up here and join us actually for as little as $1. Lots of cool stuff going. Great way to support the channel. You can subscribe by clicking this button down here, and you can check out 2 more of my videos here and here. That's really all I have to say today, guys. Thank you so much for the support. Do as the shirt says. Shout out to Glenn Fricker, and I'll see you for another video soon. Bye.